Okay, here we go. Another game right out of the chute on your poorly aging, sarcastic PC, Witty Gamer channel right here on YouTube. It's becoming your favorite channel, isn't it? Admit it. You can admit it. You can tell me. You animal! Now this game has become my dirty little secret. What do I mean by that? Well, I bought it. As you see, there's almost no stars there. I've had it from the beginning. I pre-ordered it. I've gotten almost nowhere in it. It outsmarts me at every turn. And on top of that, I bought every DLC for it. So here's a game I'm not even enjoyably playing, and yet they're getting more and more money from me. Who's ever behind this is a genius. I, on the other hand, putting out the money for it, I'm no genius. So I'm starting it over again for your enjoyment and hoping that I get further than I usually get. I'm not above rage quitting, by the way, if I can't get further.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets.
Yeah, we all have that problem.
As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prize, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s.
Oh, thank you for that,
but
lion
we're in the middle of a big renovation,
in our beautiful
and
video.
That's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you into the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be, too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
I'm not laughing.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals. We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
I should tell you, I do have diplomas and none of them have anything to do with animals, zoos, or anything like that. He hired the wrong guy. And why he would just hire somebody to run the zoo, that's a problem as well. Now, they want me to locate the grizzly bear habitat. That's obviously right here because they're showing it to me. Enter the grizzly bear
Did you know that grizzly bears,
I
also
was
known
talking.
as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
Your lips don't move when you talk.
Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel. This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Why don't I do what I'm sorry, I was changing his name to Dova Bean. I wasn't listening. Let me replay your dialogue.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
But to be clear, you do like the name Dova Bean for a grizzly bear, right? Great, she's not answering. And by the way, so activate the animal camera. I'll do that, but are you saying that we have secret cameras attached to every animal in the zoo? I mean, that's hard to believe.
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals.
Especially
you
their
can also get
butts.
this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it. Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Well, I don't know. I'm getting pretty much into this, watching this sleeping bear's butt. I mean, you know, sleeping bear's butt. Sounds like the name of a band, doesn't it? And now, opening for Van Halen, Sleeping Bear's Butt. Of course, you know, the world has moved on, and so nobody probably even knows who Van Halen is or was, but they were big in the day. They were big, mighty big. I'm so glad we attached a camera to every animal in the zoo so that we could have this beautiful view of this bear's butt while it sleeps. That's terrific. Now, how do I thought hitting escape would get me out of this, but it hasn't. Okay, now I was supposed to go find the lions, which I believe are highlighted.
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
If the lion pride is just filled with one gender, and if they're homosexual lions, would that be called a gay pride? Not time for that type of humor? Okay, thanks for letting me know before I made a fool of myself. What did you want me to do? I selected the habitat already. It says select habitat. I did that. This is the habitat right here. I've selected it. Okay? You happy now? Now, what do you want me to do after I select it? Hello?
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
An empty habitat? So we're done with the lions? Oh, okay, that's why she's confusing me. She has me go over to the lions, and then she talks about them, and then we're done. Okay, I've selected this habitat. You see how much this game hates me? I do exactly what it asks, and it still doesn't say I have. This is the habitat, the empty habitat. It doesn't tell me why I'm here. I've selected it.
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me.
I think we've heard this
Lions
before.
are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride.
Right.
Although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie
they're not
would say,
pretty.
those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
Okay, I'm at an empty habitat. I've clicked on it. I've selected it. How come you don't know that I've done that? Lady, are you there, lady? Let's see if that's the only... It's the only one you're highlighting, lady. Lady, don't make me look like a fool on YouTube. That's my job, not yours. This is clearly the habitat she's talking about. I've located it, clicked on it several times. Of course, no guests have recently visited this habitat. It's empty. She asked me to go click on the empty habitat. That's what I've done. And it says over there to locate it. Obviously, I've located it if I've clicked on it. What do you people want? I should have checked the settings to make sure that... Yeah, because if it's not set to you know, capture it at 4K, it's likely not going to record the video properly. Lady, I'm at the empty habitat, okay? This is going worse than when I played this before without millions of people watching over YouTube. Okay, hundreds of thousands. Thousands? Tens of thousands? Hundreds? Dozens? Wait, you're saying I'm the only one that will ever view this video? Ever? No matter what I do, I can't get people to watch this video, even by uploading it to YouTube? That's terrible. Anyway, I've located the stupid habitat. Lady, can you move on?
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something.
A
Well,
warthog, maybe?
two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to
Wow.
adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Okay. You want me to adopt some, honey? 2 common warthogs. Okay. I can't even tell what this other one is because you've got stuff overlapping other stuff. Did you know that?
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade center where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Because I don't know where the trade center is. I don't understand why you would have a trade center.
There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
I've got these stored animals. How about I just click Send to Zoo?
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade center, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade center's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Does sound devastatingly exciting. So I'm just going to stare at a building with blue stuff around it.
As you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
Rude health is
Let's
good.
get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information. Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
A feeding station. Water bowl. And I guess this food trough is a feeding station.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Well, yeah, that's what I always wanted, is the... Every place I try and put it says it's obstructed. There we
Nice
go.
work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now,
Yeah,
our
well-
contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
I would have thought the first thing we needed to finish was the the warthog habitat because you had me finish the warthog habitat thing first. So it seems like that was the first thing. Oh, you don't want to talk about that? Fine. Let's talk about the fact that you hired somebody out of a Bible college to run a zoo. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, I get it, okay? You may come from the Ken Ham school of apologetics, and so you figure running a zoo, you can teach about Noah and the ark and everything like that. Okay, you're starting to make sense now. But if we bring, religion into this gaming channel, there's people that will leave. Hopefully more people will show up, but there's people that will leave. Just saying, you probably should have hired somebody from a different type of college than, hiring me was probably a bad idea. But everybody comes to that conclusion in their own time. Trust me, I've had plenty of employers. When I was a young warthog. I forget what I'm supposed to be looking for, but I don't see anything highlighted anyway. I do hear a train, however. Something about ostriches. Oh, here, this might be what we're talking about. This huge place just for a few ostriches? And there's like nobody around here. Have you noticed that? There's like this one family here. It's Meryl Stern, by the way, for anybody who wants to know. If I don't get on Steam Train, I'm going to freak. Well, obviously, a very well-adjusted child. Whose name I'm going to change to Brad Stern. Because up until this moment, I didn't know I could change the names of the animals and the people. And so now I'm obsessed with it. Although why a kid cares that the ATM 5 is free, I don't know. Now, we're in the same situation where I have found the habitat she wants me to find. I click on it. And she doesn't know that I've clicked on it. I'm sure she's going to want me to finish the brick wall around it, since it is decidedly unfinished. Lady, speak to me. Lady, come on. We've got nobody listening to us or watching us in YouTube. It's a perfect time for you to speak to me. Lady? She went away now. That's even worse. Lady? Water 11, welfare, cleanliness 100%. So water has welfare in this particular particulosity? I don't know how to get the chick back. Oh, there she is. Hey, chick. I've located the highlighted area. How can I convince you? And by the way, why is it red now instead of blue? Perspiring minds want to know.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Okay, I'm there, honey. Darling, baby honey bunch. How do I convince you? See, I'm actually clicking on it to let you know I'm there, honey. Baby. Sweetheart. This will probably ruin the tutorial, fixing some of it when she's not here. Lady, I'm here. Lady, talk to me. I'm at the habitat. Sweetheart. I need you to wake up, honey bunny. We're here at the habitat. Lady, we're at the habitat. Could you talk to me?
Before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Is pause anything like pause?
That's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Place a habitat gate. Obstructed, obstructed, obstructed.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Yeah, no problem, lady. I did a lot of this before you admitted I was here, lady.
Good work.
I know.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier.
Imagine that.
You've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier so the guests can see in.
Why didn't we do that in the first place? Is it because you're old and senile? By the way, none of it's worked.
There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Eh?
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
Well, I was actually going to try and get another donation bin thing, but okay. I don't see anybody there for... Oh, okay, there they are. Common ostrich. So how many did I adopt? Did I adopt the 1 or the 4? Yeah, I think I adopted only 1 back when I said that. Okay.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
I forgot what
While
you
we
want
wait
me
for
to
them
add.
be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Now you got me wondering whether I put out the wrong kind of...
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour?
Did you know I never
Heaven
cared?
forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Facilities. Keeper hut small. Classic keeper hut small.
You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
What's a path?
This keeper hut only has space for 1 keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness. Negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So
Okay.
let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
If you want. I had no idea that it would
Now, the reason
require...
everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off. Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
Are we having fun yet right here on your favorite new YouTube channel, the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel, right here? Hopefully you've liked and subscribed to it, and you're watching full videos. So if you watch one video, the higher percentage of the video itself that you watch, the more YouTube is likely to recommend it to other people. And the way to get the double whammy on that is to watch a video all the way through and then choose another video in our channel and watch that all the way through. These are some of the tricks that would help build our channel so that more people could enjoy this hobby of ours, this PC Witty gaming. What you want us to do? Did anybody pay attention? Oh, she wants us to go to the highlighted area, and then she'll pretend we didn't.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Okay, so let's look at the barriers. Immediately, I cannot see what I'm doing. I'm going to do it like we did last time. Build it a brick. And then put in the glass. And put in the door. She hasn't actually told me if that's the way to do it, but now I can't see which ones are glass now, so that's helpful.
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode. Great. Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool.
Clicking and What is she talking about? It's only doing it one piece at a time, lady. I hope this will be acceptable to you, lady, because you weren't very clear on your directions. Or maybe I'm just too stupid to understand. But I didn't see a way to get the whole fence at once, which I would much prefer.
Now that the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas.
Well, I was gonna. You
We
wouldn't
need
let me.
every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch. Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate's in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think
And
it's
you
time
won't
we
let-
adopted those tigers.
I think it's time you let me put more donation boxes out, but you won't let me. Okay. They're kind of expensive, especially since they're also kind of old.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival.
Yes,
We'll
let's.
start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Okay.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Water. Water.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Because I really don't care about them. I mean, what a great idea.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
Well, you didn't tell me it'd be that big. I'm not sure. There'll be room. I guess there will be.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Yes, ma'am.
Rightio. Click on the Terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
I can't see the Terrain tab, ma'am.
Okay then, open the Terrain editing tool, select Painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Give them some more what? Soil isn't heavy? Is that what they want?
Right then. All animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat.
Oh,
To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab. Now, as you can see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes. You can remove them if you want. You can find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
I don't even see any wattle bushes. Not that I know what a wattle bush is. Bird's nest, fern, large, bracken. Red strip. Arrow bush, bracken, wattle bush. It's practically outside of their terrain anyway. Why are they complaining about that? Caribou moss. So I don't remember what they want. Buffalo grass parched. They don't like the arrowwood bush. Okay. It sure is tedious. They don't like buffalo grass or wattle bush. And there's still 3 wattle bush somewhere? Buffalo grass they don't like. Okay, fine. I don't know what they think of caribou moss. Buffalo grass they don't like. Arrowwood bush they don't like. Release the bracken. Buffalo grass they don't like. Buffalo grass they don't like. Caribou moss, I don't know whether they like it or don't like it. Buffalo grass they don't like. White birch trees they don't like. Blue stem they don't like. Yeah, I should just get rid of everything that's in there and start over. The white birch they don't like. They don't like. They don't like. Black spruce. I don't know whether they like black spruce. Do you guys like black spruce? There's still a buffalo grass in there somewhere. And there's still wattle brush somewhere. Buffalo grass, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Buffalo grass, won't you come out tonight? Okay. Well, we still got that don't like. White birch. Black spruce tree that I don't like. Wow, okay. So I don't like the trees. Told you it would have been easier just to get rid of everything. White birch. I don't know whether they like bracken. Wattle, they don't like. Buffalo grass, they don't like. Buffalo grass, they don't like. Broken white birch, they don't like. Big blue stream grass, they don't like. And caribou moss, they don't like. Tigers, I just want to make it clear, I'm not the one who created this environment for you. My predecessor did. And that's why he's my predecessor, he or she. Okay, now there's nothing in there that I don't like. But now I should put more in that they do like, right? So, tropical grassland temperate Asia. Asia. I don't know. It's not showing up on the naughty list. Okay, we're almost an hour into this. We're releasing the bracken as we speak. We're at 85% for plants, but only 23% for coverage, which I don't know what any of that means. Okay, this dwarf thing, get rid of it. How about hawthorn bush? You like hawthorn bush?
They say the good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger.
I think it's good walls
Still,
make good
those tigers
fences.
look so happy that I
That was
doubt
in
they'd
Civilization
even
4.
if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right, let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
Yep, you know, I've been staying awake at night, worried about the Indian peafowl's social welfare. I wake up in the middle of the night crying about the Indian peafowl's social welfare. Thinking, is there anything I could do about the Indian peafowls? You don't care.
Now then, just find one of the peafowls and select them to open our information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese. Expand their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail. Now, they've clearly got plenty of space and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel to see what's wrong. Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market then.
Oy vey.
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But
Oh,
sadly,
good.
it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
What's wrong with me that I took this job in the first place? You know, have you ever thought about that? No, you haven't thought about that because nobody cares about how the human beings are. They only care about peafowls and tigers and hippos. Oh my! Peafowls and tigers and hippos. Oh my! You know, I might stay here. Because, you know, you have me doing these things for the betterment of these animals, these simulated animals, and yet I don't get to see the benefit of it. See, now the little numbers have gone up. Things are better. Now these are the... I built this. I should know what these are. These are the warthogs, right? Yeah, okay, that's the warthogs. Now I can double click on a warthog and watch this. Now see, it isn't a camera that's on that the warthog. Okay, I don't know how they're doing this then, because I mean in real life they could do this, of course, because it's not a camera that the warthog. See, I was thinking it was a camera like first person perspective of the warthog, as if like the warthog had a little camera on their shoulder or something, but it's a camera that is facing the warthog, which means somebody would have to jump in there and run around with a camera to get this perspective. Ugh, thank you for that. The one time I try and use a close-up camera on one of the animals, I don't even know if YouTube's gonna allow this now. Now, what was I supposed to do before I was distracted by...
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right.
Like if
You
they're
know,
not
like when you
treated
see
well
someone
on their
putting a
job.
milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you?
No,
This will
not
give
at
the
all.
snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
So it's panel too short. So as usual, I am doing something wrong. Lady, have I done what you want? You want it done over here? Okay. Darling, I don't know what you want or how to do it. Trust me, I often don't know what women want.
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you?
No.
This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
So I just don't know how to do it, lady. Apparently that's not how to do it. Or maybe it is. Lady, help me. Listen, lady, I'll be real with you. My degree is in Russian ballet. It has nothing to do with animals, running a zoo, or anything like that. I'm not sure why they gave me a job here at all. I didn't even apply here. But when I got the phone call, we're hiring you to run our zoo, I thought, well, you know, it's the best job offer I've gotten lately. So I showed up here. I'm sorry to have wasted your time. Please like and subscribe. Have a good day.